What's going on, everybody? Today, the Blood Moon Rises quest is out, along with the new boss, the Maggot King. So we're just gonna be talking about the blog post regarding that. I'm gonna do the quest probably sometime later this week, because unfortunately I have to handle some real life things. So I'll be doing it later on this week, and we're gonna talk about also some of the prices of items when that comes out to see how it kind of affected some other prices of items in the game. But we'll save that for the next video. Today I was just gonna be talking about the blog post and seeing the things that they changed and added to Vampirium and so forth. At the time of recording, I don't think anybody's completed the boss yet. Nobody's even completed the quest. It's still brand new. In fact, when you look up some of the rewards for the that came out with the boss, for example, the Elder Venador Fang, uh, it just says necklace of rapture upgrade items. So we're not even sure what what it is yet, but that's probably what it is. It's just a new best in slot, right? So it's guaranteed. But yeah, and then the flail came out. It's called the Crimson Kistin that also came out, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So the Blood Moon Rises is a Grandmaster quest that launched today, and basically all the things that it came with it is new hunter activity, new woodcutting activity, bloodwood trees, and then stim fikes, however we pronounce that. These trees provide sap, which can be used to create seeker arrows, an ammunition upgrade that can be applied to existing arrows. A new fishing activity, leech fin fishing, a new slayer creature, venators, a new solo boss encounter, Maggot King. We have so many solo bosses. I really wish they would just do group content. But, anyways, brand new rewards are available from the Maggot King boss, including the Elder Venator Fang, used to make the new best in slot range amulet, the Necklace of Rapture. We just talked about that. Obviously, that's that. So, actually, one of the items that I sold was the ornament kit for the Anguish. So let's kind of we can take a look really quick at the price of that, the Anguish ornament kit. It's actually not well. Let's see. The past month, it's actually gone down. I ended up selling mine because it's probably not going to be very valuable for long. In fact, I think it's gone down 500k since I last sold it. It's just like, as soon as I can, I'm going to upgrade to the new amulet anyway. So there's no point in holding that thing around. It's probably gonna get really cheap, unfortunately. Um, it's probably gonna be dead content, to be honest. So they rotated PvP worlds. Keep going. The Blood Moon Rises. For years, Mortania has endured in the shadow of Lord Draken, the Mariki who fought, bled, and fallen in the darkness, holding back an anvil unlike any other, an evil like any other. Can't read today. Want to catch up the story left off. So there's some cool artwork. This is a cool video. I watched this yesterday. I recommend watching it for those who haven't. It's just a video kind of explaining the lore up to the point. So up to the point of the quest. So it's really good. Now Dragon has returned to Vampirium, the ancestral homeland of the vampires. To step through is to leave the world you knew behind. The Blood Moon Rises is old school's newest Grandmaster quest. So here are the requirements for that quest. So you need to do Sins of the Father and the Night of the Theater. You need to have those completed. And 74 Slayer is probably the most difficult thing to get here. You need 74 woodcutting, 72 smithing, 72 cooking, 70 fletching, 66 mining, 65 hunter, 64 crafting, 64 herblore, and level 57 magic. And it's recommended that you have a combat level of 110. Yeah, like I said, the most difficult thing here is the 74 Slayer. So to begin the quest, you have to head over to Icene Graveyard. So that's way down here by Versin Haza. And you can start the quest there. And anyways, it's just more talking about the quest. You need to talk to some guy here by a grave. Anyways, so before you start, It's this is what it's saying. When it comes to the questing in old school, you've always been free. Yeah, so they left a note about this in the on Reddit where Mod Ed was basically asking people to, hey, like pay attention to the quest. It's gonna be an experience. So these are the settings that they are recommending to get the most enjoyment out of it. So your master volume, you want 100%, music volume 20% or more, sound effects 45%, area sound 25% or more. The music mode area, view distance 50 or more. A quick note for RuneLite users: the Blood Moon Rises makes heavy use of visual layering and depth effects. I'm pretty excited to see that, particularly throughout Vampirium. For the best experience, we recommend using the standard GPU plugin. Players using the legacy GPU plugin may encounter visual issues, so we recommend switching over before stepping beyond the veil. Vampirium. So before you go into Vampirium, at some point during your adventure, you'll find yourself traveling to the hostile land of Vampirium. The intended experience is to complete your quest journey through Vampirium without interruption. So there are a few things to keep in mind before stepping beyond the veil. If you die in Vampirium, you'll respawn there with all your items, but these deaths are not safe, so hardcore status will be lost for the hardcore Ironman out there. Keep that in mind. Everything you need to survive can be found within Vampirium, including consumable supplies. Bank withdrawals aren't available, but depositing is. So kind of like the underground pass, I think. It's not, you don't bank, but you get supplied throughout that quest. It's still worth preparing before you leave, but grit, perseverance, and careful play will matter more than good gear. You can teleport out of Vampirium at any time, and if you leave, the story will continue right from where you left off. Once you've completed the quest, you'll earn the following rewards. So, spoiler warning, if you don't want to see the rewards just yet, we're going to go over that now. I don't really care about the spoiler warning. So, you're going to get a new spec weapon, an upgraded flail obtained during the quest. Thank God, I need something for the vampires. 6 XP tomes, each granting 30k XP to skill of your choice at max, so it doesn't really matter for me. But the skill has to be level 70 or above. You get 4 quest points. You'll also be able to return to Vampirium and engage in the unique skilling activities. And finally, a little reminder for all: the Blood Moon Rises is expected to be challenging. We've really tried to do something different here, and while we are not expecting this to be a huge difficulty jump over existing Grandmaster quests, difficulty could often be subjective. So just keep that in mind. You will ultimately face formidable combat challenges where perseverance will be the key to victory. For many of you attempting on this on release, it may well feel like a step up from Desert Treasure 2. Jesus, that's really something. I'm gonna wait for the guide. I'm gonna read all the dialogue and stuff of the quest, and I'm gonna do what they recommended. But I'm definitely gonna wait for a guide, especially in your initial attempts while you learn the new mechanics. We'd also like to see how fare in this epic conclusion. How you fare in this epic conclusion before rushing to make changes. But rest assured, we'll be closely monitoring your feedback and we'll make changes where necessary. So this was the note that Mod Ed had left yesterday on Reddit. I'm not gonna read it because it's not long, but it's not for the scope of this video. So if you wanna read it, it's here on the screen. It's also posted very nicely by them on Reddit, so you can read it there. I recommend reading it. This was also a cool little video that they made promoting the quest. I recommend checking it out. I saw it this morning as well. So Vampirium's horrors do not fade when the story ends. This blood-soaked realm is home to strange flora, hostile fauna, and several new post-quest skilling activities for those brave enough to return after the quest concludes. We've concluded Vampirium's skilling activities in more detail in our dedicated overview and Leechfin fishing blog, so head over there for a full breakdown. For now, here's a summary of what you can expect when you step beyond the veil. So Stimfill Hunter. So this is the new hunter method. Circling high above Vampirium's twisted canopy are the stimp hikes. I don't know how to pronounce that. Vicious predatory birds that descend only when conditions are right. This hunter method plays out across 2 connected stages. First, you'll need to gather bait and form in the form of Letvek, which can be found roaming Vampirium and captured using existing box traps. This first stage requires 76 hunter and is more active part of the hunt, giving you a way to build up your bait supply before turning your eyes to the sky. Once you have Letvec in hand, you can. So it's like bugs. I guess you stack them up and use them as bait. It's what it sounds like that's gonna be. Uh, you can begin hunting Stimfex. So once you have the bugs, you can begin hunting the birds. The second stage requires 82 hunter, along with a supply of Letvec and a nearby makeshift spear that's sharp enough to bring the Stimfex down. To begin, bait the. Anyways, yeah. So you just basically bait these birds. What's the Stimfex lines? You get spirit. Okay. It's a cool animation on of them landing. For main accounts, the effect can also be purchased from the Grand Exchange, letting you skip straight to the Stimfec luring stage if you'd rather focus on the steadier, low attention part of the activity. Leechfin fishing. Beneath Vampirium's crimson waters, the leechfin gather perfectly adapted to a bloody realm where even the rivers run red. So this is the new fishing method. I don't know if you guys ever played Jack and Daxter like way back in the day, but this really reminds me of that. Let me see if I could find it. It looks like this little game mode. Like this is the OG of this. This game, for those of you guys who don't know, is actually really old PlayStation 2 game. It's like one of the first PlayStation 2 games that come out, but it's I don't know before this what the inspiration for this was, but it's funny seeing this in RuneScape. Anyways, so leechfin fishing requires 72 fishing and offers a more active way to train the skill without relying on tick manipulation. From the onset, you can choose whether to focus on stronger fishing XP or trade some of the XP for a steadier supply of blood vials. This activity uses a big net and plays similarly to the fishing activity found in Perilous Moons. That's also another one that kind of looks like Jack and Daxter. Once you begin, leechfin will swim downstream in waves. You'll need to align your net with the incoming fish, reacting to their movement as they pass through the river. If you're focused purely on XP, you can keep catching lichfin and continue the activity for stronger rates. Lichfins themselves are untradeable, cannot be cooked, eaten, or stored in a fish barrel, so you'll want to manage your inventory as you fish. So what are they really good for? I'm not sure. Alternatively, you can put leechfin here. I think they're going to talk about it now with a knife to gather blood sacks, earning a small amount of cooking XP in the process. Blood sacks are untradeable, but can be squeezed into empty vials to create blood vials. Ah, yeah, that's right. That's what they're used for, to make blood vials. And you'll need 50 blood sacks to fill one vial. The leech fin will come in pretty thick and fast, so while 50 might sound like a lot, it shouldn't take too long to stack up. This gives the activity two clear paths. Stay focused on catching fishing and dropping for better fishing XP. Spend time cutting leech fin for blood sacks and vials of blood at the cost of lower XP. If you step away for too long, the activity will end automatically, so keep your eyes on the river. Vampirium's waters are generous, but they're not patient. Bloodwood woodcutting. So this is the new woodcutting method. Amid Vampirium's Crimson Forest stands the bloodwood trees. Their bark split with a potent red sap that seeps beneath the realm's eternal night. Jeez, I can't read today. Harvesting these trees requires 77 woodcutting and offers a new way to train the skill while gathering one of Vampirium's most valuable resources, bloodwood sap. This activity is intentionally designed around the spectrum of engagement, similar in spirit to systems such as Oathplate smelting. You can approach bloodwood trees in a relatively low-intensity semi-AFK way or opt into a more click-intensive style that rewards focus and effort. Once gathered, this untradeable sap can be used to treat eligible logs, arrows, or arrow shafts before fleshing them into seeker arrows, with a sharper, more reliable bite. A note on XP and PVM interactions. XP rates. If you followed our earlier blogs, you may notice that this version of Bloodwood Woodcutting offers significantly higher XP rates under certain conditions of high intensity play when originally discussed. While the original proposal outlined rates of roughly 80 to 90k XP through more active play, the activity released today can compete with top end methods under higher optimized play. So it looks like they buffed it a bit. As development continued, the activity evolved across the entire engagement spectrum, with the biggest changes coming at the higher intensity end. Through iteration and playtesting, the mechanics became deeper and more involved than our initial proposal. As that happened, we felt the XP rewards needed to evolve alongside the activity, rather than remain locked to rates first outlined in the overview blog. At the same time, this also aligned with a wider shift in the player feeling around XP rates and skilling metas in general, particularly revolving methods particularly regarding methods involving tick manipulation. We've heard plenty of feedback over the past year that activities requiring greater attention and execution should feel appropriately rewarding, and we wanted Bloodwood Trees to reflect that philosophy. As with all new content, we'll be watching how this plays out at launch and looking at Bloodwood sap production and how this activity fits within the wider woodcutting meta. And if the balance isn't where folks would like it to be, we'll make the necessary adjustments together as we go. So PVM interaction. So there's going to be a new Slayer monster. So this is the Venator. Among Vampirium's deadliest inhabitants are the Venators, vampiric pack beasts, bred for blood sport and relentless pursuit. That's a pretty interesting concept. Venators require 74 Slayer and offer a new way to approach vampire Slayer tasks. Oh, thank God, because those vampires really, they're okay, but they can be kind of annoying to get sometimes. When assigned to slay vampires, you can choose to seek out these vicious beasts in Vampirium instead for a slightly more dangerous, active take on the task. Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping. These encounters are primarily single combat and lead more towards rewards than Slayer XP. With a higher intensity fight than Slayer vampires, although more attention will be required, you'll be rewarded with a slightly higher rate of blood shards in exchange. Okay, so that's good. Sometimes I don't want to AFK, sometimes I just want to pay attention to the game. So usually what I end up doing when I get a vampire task, if I have a free slot available to store them, I'll store them, and then I'll end up doing them on mobile some other time or something like that, because I don't want to just sit there doing vampires AFK. Sometimes I want to be a little bit more active. So Venators also drop tarnished equipment and jewelry, which can be polished with 60 crafting for crafting experience and a random item of the same type. Slayer tasks remain the main way to hunt Venators, but they aren't the only way. Players engaging with Stimfike Hunter can earn Stimfike feathers, which may be handed into a nearby Arani for limited off-task access to Venators. 100 feathers are required at a minimum in exchange for up to 3 Venator kills. If you've unlocked bigger and badder, you may also encounter a superior Venator. So superior version of it. These deadlier variants are far more aggressive, chasing you down to stay within striking distance. Superior Venators can appear both on and off task, though only the on-task superior Venators will roll for that elusive imbued heart and eternal gem. So that's pretty cool. The Maggot King. So here's the big boss that everybody's talking about. I think it's the art is pretty cool. I don't know. The name seems kind of like kind of goofy in my opinion. The Maggot King, but anyways, I don't know the lore behind it or anything like that. So maybe it's appropriate, but I digress. Deep within the Vampirium lies something ancient, swollen, and ravenous. So the Maggot King is a new repeatable solo boss encounter unlocked after completion of the Blood Moon Rises quest, offering unique new challenge for players ready to take on one of Vampirium's most grotesque horrors. This is an instance fight designed to test your precision, endurance, and rather more goo than anyone should be comfortable with. As the fight progresses, the Maggot King's attacks become faster and more oppressive. The arena will grow increasingly dangerous, and you'll need to manage the boss, its hazards, and the things crawling out of the filth if you want to survive. A few things to know before you enter. The Mega King can be assigned as a Slayer boss task. That's pretty cool, but it does not count towards any traditional Slayer tasks. For example, vampires. A scoreboard outside the arena tracks personal and global kill counts, deaths, and best times. It's a pretty cool animation for the boss. Let's take a look at it one more time. Yeah, that thing's ugly. Anyways, for those Those who manage to bring down the Maggot King will have a chance to earn new rewards, including the Crimson Kiston, a powerful crush-focused special attack weapon, and the Elder Venator Fang, a key component used to create the Necklace of Rupture for the best in-slot ranged amulet upgrade. There's also a new pet to chase. After defeating the Maggot King, you can claim your loot as normal or sacrifice it for a better chance at the pet. Sacrificing your loot gives you a chance to receive one of several mysterious eggs, which look, so okay, let me read that one more time. You can claim your loot as normal or sacrifice it for a better chance at the pet. Okay. Which gives you a chance to receive one of several mysterious eggs, each offering a different chance of hatching into the Mega King pet. That's pretty cool. With a focus on crush accuracy, the Crimson Kristen is designed to support its special attack, Brutal Swing. So costing 50% spec energy, Brutal Swing makes 4 separate accuracy rolls in a single hit. The more rolls you land, the harder the attacks hit, rewarding high crush accuracy with escalating damage. In practice, its damage scales like this. One successful roll, 70% to 100% of your max hit. 90 to 2 successful rolls, 90 to 130 max hit. 3, 110 to 150% of max hit. 4 successful rolls, 130 to 170% of your max hits. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Against crush weak targets, you're more likely to land multiple successful rolls and push into the higher damage ranges. Against enemies where crush isn't ideal, the special attack still works, but without the same ceiling. I'm telling you guys, Raids 4 is going to be the crush raid. They need to add that fortified crush armor, like I was saying. It just makes sense. So to keep things in check against very low defense targets, the Kristen maximum hit is reduced by 1 when all 4 accuracy rolls succeed. This mirrors how Dragon Claws calculate their own damage cap, helping the Crimson Kristen stay devastating where crush matters without invalidating existing special attack options elsewhere. If you're looking to tear through Vampirium's horrors with something suitably vicious, this one belongs at the top of your list. The Necklace of Rupture is a direct upgrade to the Necklace of Anguish. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this item here, offering a new best in slot option for range setups. So let's take a look at the Anguish just to see how much of an upgrade it is. So here are the stats for the Anguish. So you get now an additional +5, so you get 20 range accuracy, and then range strength goes up by 3, so a little bit more, and then you get an additional prayer bonus. So it's a nice little upgrade. To create it, you'll first need to obtain an untradeable Elder Venator Fang from the Maggot King, so they could upgrade the wiki on that. But yeah, it says it right here. Elder Venator Fang from the Maggot King. From there, the process mirrors other high-end jewelry upgrades. Obtain an untradeable Elder Venator Fang from the Maggot King. Etch the tooth of... anyways, it's just the instructions on how to put it together. So there's that. This extra crafting step keeps high-level crafting relevant while avoiding the need to sacrifice additional Zenyte jewelry just to trade or store the upgrade. So Seeker Arrow. So this is the second buff to the T-Bow. T-Bow is going to be absolutely cracked after this. I can't wait to start using this. Seeker Arrows sit at the heart of Imperium skilling rewards, but rather than introducing a brand new arrow tier, Seeker Arrows act as an upgrade layer. They enhance standard arrows, letting your existing ammunition remain relevant while giving it a Vampirium Forge edge. When applied, Seeker Arrows provide 20 plus ranged accuracy. Wow. A minimum hit of 3, raising your minimum damage from 1 to 3. We'd also like to clarify how the minimum hit works with this one, as damage is rolled and calculated as normal, and only then raised to 3 if it would have been lower. Seeker arrows can still miss, but successful hits won't land as 1s or 2s for the Venator bow. This minimum hit applies to every bounce, meaning each hit splat generated by the bow will have a minimum hit of 3. I don't know about you guys. even my bank is about like four bill. I still don't use dragon arrows on my Venator bow. It would just eat through them too quickly unless you really just don't care about GP. I still use amethyst arrows when I'm running Venator bow, but this is a pretty strong buff to the Venator bow if you do end up doing this, especially particularly for the Venator bow. It's because it applies to every bounce. So meaning each hit spot generated by the bow will have a minimum hit of 3. So that's quite a big DPS increase, in my opinion, to the Venator bow. To create secret arrows, you'll first need buckets of bloodwood sap gathered from bloodwood trees. From here, you have two options: create secret arrows from scratch by treating logs with buckets of bloodwood sap, then fletching the sap treated logs into seeking arrow shafts, or finally add feathers to create seeking headless arrows and attach your chosen arrow tips to finish the arrows, or apply bloodwood sap to existing arrows, headless arrows, or arrow shafts to convert them directly into respective seeker arrow versions. And batches of 15 per bucket of sap. I think they said that it's untradeable, the seeker arrows. I'm not actually sure. I don't know if I read that or not, but seeker arrows will start, but rather than introducing brand new, they might be tradable. They might be. I'm not 100% sure. A few extra things to note: seeker arrows work with any standard arrow type from bronze, dragon arrows, including broad arrows, but cannot be applied to poison arrows or fire arrows. Okay, so cool. I could put them on my amethyst arrows that I still use. Don't worry guys, I use dragon arrows for the twisted bow, but not not the Venator bow. That's all. So seeker arrows work with, okay, we talked about that. Seeker arrows are tradable once completed, but seeking arrow shafts and seeking headless arrows are untradeable. Oh, here we go. Seeker arrows are tradable once completed. So yes, you can sell the arrows, you just can't sell the materials. Sap treated logs cannot be burned. So here's some statistics. Oh, this is actually cool that they're updating with us with this stuff. So each month, so welcome back to our monthly snapshot of player support and anti-cheat activity. Your behind the scenes look at all the hard work going on into keeping Glenor fair and fun for everyone. So I didn't know they were doing this, but each month we share key stats from our player support and anti-cheating teams so they can see exactly what's been happening behind the curtain. From how quickly we're responding to your queries to the number of bots and rule breakers taken down. So last month they removed 4.76 trillion gold. That's a lot of gold. Support queries resolved 80,000. Real world trade bans total 22,000 real world trading bans. So don't real world trade, guys. That's the thing of the past from at this moment. Report actions messages 177,000. Macro bans 712,000. Live chat queries resolved 4,000. Chat spam muted 3,700. Average response time 20 hours. So that's cool that they're doing that. A note from us: we want to thank everyone for their feedback following the recent OSRS logo update across the game clients. Okay, you can skip that. Some mobile and official clients. So they made some changes to mobile. So we'll talk about, let's see, we've been investigating reported performance issues on mobile where the game sometimes feels less responsive. For a little more info on what happened, one of the updates in June included a large backend update at the core engine. As part of that, it appears we inadvertently added roughly one extra frame of input lag. At higher frame rates, this is less noticeable, as at 60 FPS, a single frame is some technical stuff here, but anywhere. We can share a peek at upcoming changelog. We'll conclude, so they're going to make some changes. So to Android, I don't use Android. General, fixed an input issue causing laggy feel. Fixed a crash that could occur during login. Fixed an issue. I think that happened to me once. Fixed an issue where the tile highlights did not appear in the same areas. Fixed an issue where the NPC tag would be lost after relogging. Fixed an issue where relogging didn't always bring up the sign in page. So yeah, that's cool. Some merch stuff is coming out. They changed the PvP roll the rotation. So yeah, that's the blog, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing the quest later on this week. I have some world IRL obligations I have to attend to, so I'm not gonna have time. Matter of fact, I'm recording this at 8 in the morning. I woke up at 6 today to do this. So yeah, I'm gonna do it later on. Um, I'm gonna start streaming kind of soon. Just getting some stuff sorted out, making sure that it's gonna be a quality stream and not just some random bull crap I put on the internet. But yeah, that's the status update. We're at the time, like I said, at the time of recording, the boss hasn't been fought yet or defeated yet, so we're still finding out what the meta is. We don't know what the best item to use there is, so we don't know if it's like weak against magic, range, or melee. So we'll make a follow-up video in a couple days just to see the prices of some particular items, like what has happened with them, if it's gone up or down. But yeah, until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.